Tonight on the House of Tiny Tearaways.
Shut up, I'm not doing anything!
Stop fighting! No, you're staying in for more longer now.
Hello and welcome back to the all-new House of Tiny Tearaways. Well, Elizabeth and Laverne have been working round the clock to help our three families, but bedtime is soon approaching. And we all know the one thing the Bailey kids hate more than anything is going to sleep. So the question is, will Sherry be able to get them into bed this side of midnight?
What?
Shut. When relationships are at breaking point,
I love my little girl so much. And sometimes I really hate her, Dad.
young families are on the edge.
Mum, I'm not getting bossed around no more!
And the kids are out of control.
Stupid.
This is where they come, the House of Tiny Tearaways. Two of the country's leading child psychologists, Laverne Antrobus and Elizabeth Kilby, are on hand to provide intensive therapy. They will observe how these young parents operate and then intervene to help them turn their lives around.
I just can't cope with it.
All the parents coming into the house over this month-long TV event are hoping that Laverne and Elizabeth can make a real difference to their lives. But whether they can remains to be seen.
You naughty, naughty daddy.
25-year-old Nazia and her 32-year-old husband Gulnar have been in the house for 3 days with their 3-year-old daughter Aneesah, who is refusing to eat their traditional Asian food.
Aneesah, you're not getting off the chat until you've tried something.
They've had 2 days of disastrous mealtimes, fraught with tears and tantrums. But last night, Laverne made a vital discovery.
The curry was so hot, I couldn't eat it.
On top of that, Nazia now knows that she needs to be much calmer at mealtimes.
If you pick this up, put it in the tongue, like that, it'll be stick of this here.
Having come so far, Elizabeth and Laverne feel they're ready to head home tomorrow. 23-year-old Sherry and 26-year-old Martin came into the house to control their wayward kids, 4-year-old Todd and 5-year-old Tamsin. Their constant fighting and refusal to go to sleep meant that they had to have locks on their bedroom doors, and both Martin and Sherry admitted it was the kids that ruled the roost. With 10-month-old Jessica as well, they're finding it hard to cope and all too often let it get the better of them.
Get out now! Now!
With no sign of affection between anyone in the family, yesterday Elizabeth and Laverne introduced a hugging game. It improved relations so much that they feel Sherry and Martin can also leave the house tomorrow. 21-year-old Emma came into the house with her 3-year-old son Kai, whose violent behaviour towards his 1-year-old sister Cleo meant that they couldn't be left on their own together.
Get out.
But single mum Emma has been taking her instinct to protect Cleo a bit too far.
What I want is to allow Cleo to get down on the floor, because then we can start to get a balance between Cleo and Kai.
As soon as she realised what she was doing wrong, Emma immediately started playing with Kai more, and even clingy Cleo is becoming more independent.
Sit down, then.
It's 6 in the evening and Todd and his big sister Tamsin are being treated to a post-dinner piece of cake by Mum Sherry. Onlooker Aneesah isn't getting a dinner for another half an hour.
Aneesah, we don't need all the pillows.
Is Aneesah allowed cake after dinner?
Yeah, she's going to have a dinner.
Yeah, after a dinner.
Please, yeah.
I would like the mouth.
You would like a bit of the mouth. There we go, Tamsin.
Yep, that one. But
Todd, which bit would you like?
I would like the blue eye.
The blue eye.
If you have your dinner, then you can have some cake. Do you want to choose which cake you want?
Do you want to choose which bit of cake you want? Because we've got a nose left and we've got an eye left. We've got an eye and we've got a bit of a mouth and we've got a bit of a nose. So which bit would you like?
Which bit do you want?
For me to put in a bowl?
This one.
You want a bit of that bit? Okay, I'll sort that out. Put all that in there.
Oh, that's a big piece.
Big bit, but you've got to eat all your dinner up.
We put that in the kitchen now, and then when we have our dinner, then you can have it, yeah?
Good girl. Well done.
Good girl. Come on. No, no, we've got to put it in the kitchen.
Got to have it after dinner.
Aneesah, I'll put it in the kitchen for you. And then we're going to have our dinner, and then you can have it. So I'm just going to ignore you.
Wait here then. Wait here a second, because you're doing really good eating. Let's let your food go down. Wait till you properly fell asleep in.
Aneesah.
Stop fighting me! Get up.
Without the kids.
You've got to go in there because you're hitting Mummy. Stand in there.
After 3 days in the house, Aneesah is getting her first stint in a time-out pen.
You want to get out of there? You want to get out? Aneesah, do you want to get out of there?
Unpractised at it, Nazia hasn't quite mastered the art of ignoring yet.
Do you know why I put you in here? Do you know why? No, not because you were asking for cake, darling. Because I said we're going to have cake later after dinner, and you started hitting Mummy. Say you're sorry now. Say I'm sorry, Mummy. Go on. Say I'm sorry, Mummy. Right. We're going to have a big hug now. Big hug. Well done. That's the first time you've had to have a time out. Let's hope it's the last.
It looks like Aneesah's naughtiness is catching when a seemingly calm Kai decides to play up.
No, we don't have puddings after dinner time. We only have puddings after lunch. Come here. Time out. Time out. In. Now you're going in time out because you've just pushed your sister.
What's wrong now?
I can still climb out.
There you go. Right. That is it. Going in there because you got out.
As Emma performs one of her grade A timeouts, she loses points for forgetting Elizabeth's golden rule of not giving Cleo too much attention.
Now you were put in there, right, timeout's finished now, but you were put in there because you pushed your sister. Now, what do you say to her?
Sorry.
Right, you do not leave her alone.
And Kai gets a disappointing D- for a repeat offence.
Have you got some more?
Yeah, but I'm also losing my trousers at the same time.
Over the last half an hour, Elizabeth has been keeping a close eye on both Kai and Emma's behaviour and isn't happy with either of them, so decides to intervene.
Right, now you lose your sister. She doesn't want to be shut in.
Hello, darling. Hello, how you doing?
Fine.
I noticed we've had a bit of a shoving, haven't we? We've had a bit of... Yeah. Kai getting cross. Kai, come here.
Can I go and speak to Elizabeth? Good boy.
Tell me what's been happening with you and Cleo.
I was touching this.
OK, Kai, stop. Stop. I want you to tell me what happened with Cleo.
Shut my gate.
She shut your gate?
Yeah.
And what did you do? Did you push Cleo? Yeah? And what does Mummy do when you push Cleo?
That puts me in timeout.
She puts you in time-out. That's right. If you push Cleo, you get time-out.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm very pleased to hear that he's understood the link between him pushing Cleo and getting time out. What I saw that was very difficult was when he had pushed Cleo and he'd got his time out, you were still giving huge amounts of attention to Cleo, and I can understand why. But that was so hard because it's actually antagonising him further.
Should I not do that? I thought that was good because he'd hurt Cleo, so he was being punished.
Yes.
So I was kind of making her feel better because she'd been hurt, and I kind of thought maybe that was a good thing.
But because the relationship between these two is still very difficult.
Yeah, so maybe that's not such a
really
good thing.
provokes Kai when Cleo gets a lot of attention. I want you to be constantly aware of what am I doing to Cleo and what effect is that having on Kai. Because what is so clear when I'm watching you from the outside is as you give attention in to Cleo, I watch Kai's behaviour rack it up.
Yeah.
I think it's so important that he gets time with you on his own.
And I had dots on there.
Yes, you're going to have a bath on your own tonight.
And I had launcher.
Okay, Kai, look at me. If you do good waiting when Cleo has a bath, you can have a big bath.
Can I?
Big bath.
"20 minutes later, Nazi is preparing dinner, while Aneesah and Gulnar are starting story time. And fresh from his big bath, Kai wants to join in.
Our dinner's ready now.
Okay.
Everyone wants to share. You're being very good, aren't you, sat there? I got to tell your mummy that.
Yes. Yeah.
And the dinosaur bit. On the dinosaur bit. This, look at this. On the dinosaur bit. No. Someone. This one. No. No. Look at this one. Oh.
What
is this one? It would. This looks interesting.
It's ready.
The end.
Story time's over and another mealtime with problem eater Aneesah is about to start.
Look at dinner.
Have your dinner?
Earlier today, there was a huge breakthrough when she ate her lunch off a plate that had some curry on the edge, something she's never done in her life.
Good girl.
Wow.
So tonight, they've tried the same trick. Can they pull it off a second time?
Did we have any crying?
No. She just said you've put it on my plate. I said, yeah. That was it.
That is fantastic.
Oh.
Well done.
Dandy.
Is it? Lick it.
Lick it off.
It's Dandy licking.
She's saying it's touched it.
Mummy, you lick it off.
Shall I lick it off? Shall I clean it? Do you want to lick it?
Just lick it for me and give it back to her.
No, it's nice. She's saying it's dirty.
But I suppose in her mind...
It's dirty, yeah. She doesn't like it, yeah.
That is how it goes.
Cheese? Cheese, yeah.
See how calm this is? I mean, I know you came here saying to me, I want to be able... I want my daughters to eat because I want to eat as a family. But actually, if I didn't know what was on your plate, I'd think this was a lovely family meal.
Yeah.
And what a really good place to start. And Aneesah has got jacket potato, beans, cheese, and a little bit of chicken curry, which is out of the way. It's not touching her food. And that's exactly how I want each meal time to be, for her just to have a little bit of your food with no pressure or expectation.
Mommy.
Yeah?
Okay,
so you don't want that. You finish your own food.
Again,
Okay, she's saying I'm not eating that.
Brilliant.
Just checking.
Just checking. She is just checking. But actually, it's lovely that she's checking with you. And the minute she works out that she's not under pressure and you're not going to force her, suddenly she's freed up to do it when she's ready. So that is really, really fantastic. So when she's finished, lots and lots of praise, lots of really clear praise. Give her a sticker and let her go.
Very good.
Me?
Yeah?
Tell me finish this around.
Stick on this.
How big a deal was it that Aneesah had that little bit of curry on her plate, where normally she'd be screaming and tantruming?
Well, at one level, not a big deal,
Yeah.
and at another level, a huge deal, because this is a child who, at the sight of curry, would cry. I mean, cry and push her plate away.
Well.
Yeah. And we've got her to a point where she could have a small bit of curry on her plate and actually happily eat her dinner with that there and not be in an anxious state.
But what was crucial was that her parents, I mean, they had been well versed and prepared and coached to really play down their responses.
Yeah.
So it was really twofold, because without them, Aneesah still, I think, would have been pushing that plate away. But Mum's anxiety level has just come down.
So it feels like baby steps, but it's a big leap, isn't it?
It is getting the treatment on the right track, because actually what Mum had been doing in the past wasn't working. So this is now, we are now on the right track, and actually the train has started, the journey has begun.
Yeah.
So although it is small in the beginning, this family are now going in the right direction.
It's 6:30, and on their last night in the house, Martin is looking after baby Jessica, while Sherry is starting her final bedtime attempt with Todd and Tamsin.
Mummy doing bedtime tonight, okay?
You're doing bedtime.
Yeah, is that okay? Why not?
I want Daddy to do it.
Why do you want Daddy to do it?
Because he's the best feeder.
Well, Daddy's not always there, is he? So, Mummy better do it.
Last night, Martin managed to get the troublesome Tearaways off to sleep in 27 minutes, the most successful attempt since arriving 6 days ago. But not everyone was happy with his success.
It me off. I did exactly the same as what, well, supposedly exactly the same thing as Aneesah last night.
You did.
Go to sleep.
24 hours later, Sherry is still bitter and is absolutely determined to beat his record time.
Head back.
But Elizabeth watches her get off to a bad start.
I want to get away from you.
Oh, shut up.
Oh, I do.
Well, as soon as your hair's done and your dress, you can get away. Put your head down. You can get away from me. It'll be my pleasure. Shut up, I'm not doing anything! Sake. I'm going to shave all your hair off when I get home.
You're not.
I am, because I ain't brushing it anymore. I'm fed up with it. You're whinging and your baby whining.
Stop calling me a baby.
Well, you act like it, you get called it.
Stop calling me a baby.
Not a great start then. If she wants to win this bedtime war, she needs to recruit at least one little soldier. So she starts by putting Elizabeth's advice of praise, praise, praise into practice.
I love you so, so much. And are you going to make me a promise? What are you going to promise to me? You're going to go straight to bed like a super duper guy, aren't you?
Ow.
That's great. I'll be back to see you in a moment, okay?
Okay. I want to see a doctor now.
I'll be in with you in a minute. I'm just going to sort Tamsin out.
Can I try to
Can you please stay? No, could you stay in your room for me? I don't mind if you're out of bed, but stay in your room. Shut your door for me and I'll be in a minute. Thank you very much. Jump into bed for me. Thank you so much. Remember how you behaved for Daddy last night? That was super duper. And you can do it again tonight, can't you? Well done. I shall be in and check on you in a minute. I'm just going to sort Todd out, okay?
Head, butt, head, butt, head, butt, head.
Martin's 27-minute mark passed Sherry long ago, and she's starting to crumble.
Have been looking for me.
Oh!
Seeing her struggle, Elizabeth decides to give Sherry some moral support.
Okay, come out, Sherry, come out, please. Get into bed. Wait, just give yourself a minute to calm down.
Get in bed.
Sherry, give yourself a minute to calm down, please. Right, how you doing?
With a few soothing words, Elizabeth quickly calms Tamsin into a sleepy state.
Right,
I just yawned.
You did just yawn, and that means you're probably tired. Right, I'll be back in a minute, Tamsin. Well done.
Keen to have the same results from Todd, Elizabeth gets Sherry to try a double whammy of the rapid return technique and praising good behaviour.
That's it. Keep returning him, Sherry. Just keep returning him at this point. Gently, please. Good.
Do you know how to jigsaws? Jigsaws. That's what I am.
Thank you for staying lying down.
His energy levels are dropping, but Todd is so active, he's such an active child, that it takes such a lot for him to go to being up here, to switching off.
Sleeping pill. If only you could do that.
It's been an hour and a half of torment for Sherry, but she's used her new tactics well, and Todd and Tamsin are asleep by 8 o'clock.
Oh my goodness, well done. Hallelujah. Yeah, last. Sherry, you're so fast down this thing.
I'm not going back up.
Downstairs, Sherry is still churned up over her defeat, and kindred spirit Emma tries to make her feel better.
They play up more for their mums than they do their dads.
Yeah, well, I don't care. They're in bed now. And it's only, what, 8:30?
Yeah, I wasn't checking on Tamsin.
So are you very happy that it's like they was in bed by 8?
Yeah,
knowing that you'd done it?
Yeah, it's just annoying than knowing that he did it a lot quicker last night.
But it's
you ain't got to compete.
No, it is, because it's not a competition or whatever you want to call it.
Competition?
Yeah, that's the one.
Competition.
It's just the fact that I know tomorrow, then, if he does it, he'll get it done quicker again. It's going to take me a long while to actually get him down to being, like, good at just going to bed like he does.
I don't know, because if we both stick to the same rules, they're both going to learn.
The more you do it, the more they're going to learn, so the quicker it will be.
Yeah. Do you think there's been an improvement so far?
With the sleeping, yeah, but the sleeping weren't the main reason I come in here.
Mm.
It was for Cleo.
What do you mean for Cleo?
General behaviour.
For him hurting her. But the thing is, though, I think he's got into his head, because we've had pets at home before. We've had goldfish and a bird. And he wasn't very nice to the goldfish, and all of a sudden they went. He wasn't very nice to the bird, then all of a sudden it went. Because with the fish, I said, if you keep hurting them, they're going to go. And with the bird, I said, if you keep hurting the bird, he's going. Mm. So I don't know whether he thinks if he keeps hurting Cleo, if she's going to go.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably does.
As Sherry and Emma are settling into their mother's meeting, Nazia and Gulnar are invited to the quiet room to spend a bit of time alone.
See you in a bit.
5 years ago, they had an arranged marriage in Pakistan and have been building a solid relationship ever since. So now, with Aneesah sound asleep, they're answering a set of questions from Elizabeth and Laverne that will help them reflect on the strength of their marriage.
जिला पहलू तू मिकी तकिया सी या हमारे बारे बुझिया सी तकिया सी तू पहलू क्या सोचा सी हमारे बारे विच मतलब शादी से पहले जिला पहली बारी जिला तू मिलिया सी जिला पहली बारी मी तकिया सी जे हमारी पार्टनर सी हमारी वाइफ सी तो तू क्या सोचा सी इसने बारे विच क्या सोचा सी या
नहीं कुछ नहीं हूँ क्या सोचा लेकिन जिसले तू 1900 जिला मकान बनाया इसने
That's really long time ago.
Yeah.
But you didn't know you were going to marry me then.
पहली बारी उसने था क्या होना?
Yeah, but you didn't know हमारा शादी तो करते हैं तो कौन सी पता?
पता था.
Did you know?
Yeah.
Well, you might have known before I knew because I was younger.
क्योंकि
I didn't know then.
दादी बनी होनी सी.
Yeah.
तू क्या सोचा सी हमारे बारे में?
चंगी लगी सी है ना?
चंगी लगी सी. मैं चला तक क्या सी तो मैं यहाँ पता नहीं किया जाओ सी पता नहीं किया जाए different.
डर लगना
सी scared सी यहाँ तो different से उठना तरीका और सी. But I must be honest, I didn't see you and think, yeah, he's brilliant, he's good looking, yeah, I want to marry him. I didn't. It wasn't the looks.
Me तो चंगी लगी सी तो look like beautiful.
Yeah, that's because I am beautiful.
हमारी बेइज्जती करनी है अभी तो.
Back in the living room, Emma and Sherry are still setting the world to rights, and they've moved on to life before kids.
Yeah. That's what I drank on my wedding night, Bacardi and Coke. Don't know how I drank, however many I did. I was drunk loads and loads and loads. Then I was paralytic when I got like downstairs, and Dad had to carry me downstairs. The reception was on top of a rugby club, and the only thing everyone said to me in the morning, do you remember Colin carrying you down the stairs? And I was like, no. Should I?
I suppose it'd be quite bad because you were only 16 there, weren't you?
Mm. Yeah. But then it was, I was used to drinking then.
So was I.
Yeah. Because I used to go clubbing when I was 13 and 14 and do all that.
My fake ID.
Yeah.
So that's why when I had Kai, it didn't appeal to me no more because I'd been there and done that before I was old enough.
See, I never get asked out with all my friends. They never bother asking me anymore because I just don't go because I've never been asked to.
So yeah, I found out who my true friends were when I fell pregnant with Kai.
Yeah.
Because I was only 17 and I was 18 when I had him. And like, my whole group of friends, there's only like 3 of them that I still talk to now. Because the rest just didn't bother. Because obviously I was pregnant and then I had Kai.
Yeah.
Because I had a baby, it didn't mean they just didn't bother asking me. And then they just stopped speaking to me.
Yeah.
जिस रात से शादी हुई थी उसमें क्या फील किया सी जिस दिन शादी हुई थी
Very bad.
Why very bad?
Dear अच्छा नेट नहीं थी. You ask me, don't touch me.
I told you don't touch me. No, but how was the day?
So
happy, excited.
So happy.
So happy.
So excited.
I felt the closer we got to the wedding night, I was scared about what would happen. I didn't know you properly, so I didn't know what to expect. And I was scared, I was frightened.
They don't do anything with her, do they?
What, Aneesah?
That's so, yeah.
I think she's quite... I don't want to sound horrible.
But when she has a strop, they just
do you
stop
think
it, stop it, stop it, or they walk away.
Yeah.
And like when she's stropping and she's scratching Nazia and she's hitting her and kicking her.
We're running around like blue ass flies all day.
Yeah. And then like she's hitting her and kicking her and scratching her and she doesn't put her in time out.
No.
She just says stop hitting me and then she walks away.
Yeah. And the dad just sits there.
I know.
He's hilarious.
Well, then you've got to understand he must be feel quite out of place here, I think, because
he doesn't really talk much English, yeah.
Because I know I would.
And because we all do stuff.
Yeah. Because there's no way I would let him sit down and do nothing all day. I know it sounds really horrible.
Yeah.
But if he just sat on the sofa all day, then I'd go mad. But you don't. He does do his fair share.
Yeah.
Thank you for going to tell Elizabeth that.
I have said you do your fair share.
Just not to camera.
Next year, Shall to go with me the kind. Shall I answer that first? My turn first. Want to have another baby. Want to get pregnant, have another baby. Also, with Aneesah, the improvements in her eating, in her behaviour. And by the end of the day... Yeah, because Elizabeth said she's hoping in 4 weeks, 3-4 weeks, it should get better.
No, it's a problem, buddy.
Yeah. If it doesn't work out, if it doesn't improve, then her starting school in January will be a major problem.
It's 11:20 and all the adults are going to bed en masse. All the kids have been fast asleep since 8, and after a hard night doing not a lot, Martin is particularly tired. If only his kids went to sleep that quickly. It's a brand new day in the house of tiny Tearaways. Yesterday morning, Todd, Tamsin and Kai crept downstairs to steal sweets, but were caught red-handed and had all their sweet rewards taken away. It's now 5 to 6 in the morning, and while his partners in crime are still sleeping, Kai is the first one up and is alone with just the devil on his shoulder for company. But it's not as much fun without his playmates. Time to wake up Mum instead.
Mummy, it's morning time.
Have you been downstairs?
I didn't.
Have you?
No. I didn't go down there this time.
Good boy, I hope not.
I didn't. I didn't get down.
I think you have been, haven't you?
I hadn't.
I think you have.
There's nobody here.
Yeah. How would you know that? Have you been down here?
I didn't.
Have you been down here?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I didn't. No, I didn't.
Down here?
No.
If you come down here, you're not having nothing today. No sweets, no cakes. I told you about that yesterday, didn't I? I told you not to come down here on your own.
I did come down here.
You did? Right, you don't get nothing then, because I told you, haven't I? Thank you for telling Mummy. Thank you for telling Mummy the truth. But you just don't get no sweets now.
You're still in bed.
So Kai's guilty conscience got the better of him, but I don't think Todd and Tamsin are feeling so virtuous. Thinking they're the only ones awake and driven by the allure of the sweet bowl, stealth-like they make their approach to the kitchen door. It's just one small step for Todd, one giant leap for children everywhere. In he goes and... busted!
Todd, go upstairs and wake your mum and dad up, mate. Go on, because I caught you out, didn't I?
I need to.
Go and wake your mum up, or your dad.
So far, we've seen Sherry have a difficult last night with Todd and Tamsin, and it left a bitter taste in her mouth. But Martin's feeling positive about going home today.
Because if we both stick to the same rules, they're both going to learn.
Also leaving today are Gulnar, Nazia and Aneesah. In 3 days, they've managed to make sure their mealtimes are no longer the heart-stopping nightmare they once were. But Emma's got a way to go with her little terror Kai, who is still pushing baby sister Cleo at every opportunity. And there's more fun and games to come before the big exits.
Hi, slow down, please.
Yeah.
I'm not playing now.
No!
Everyone in the house is now up and the two couples are building up to home time. But Emma's still hard at work trying to give both Kai and Cleo her undivided attention. Scared that Kai will hurt Cleo, Emma always keeps the two as far apart as possible. So today, Elizabeth wants to see how Kai and Cleo get on when they play together alongside Mum.
Sometimes the only amount of time they have together is the sort of negative and the fighting.
Yeah.
And what I want is to be able to show you how to do a task that has them doing more positive stuff between them.
Yeah.
Can you get the high chair so we can put them face to face? And I'll stay here with Kai.
See, now you've got to show Cleo what you've made.
Let him run off if he wants to just burn off a bit,
okay.
and then we'll call him back in a second. Aneesah, no touch.
What is it?
Does Cleo have a high chair at home?
Yeah.
Will she sit in it?
Yeah. Right. Come and show Cleo what you've made. Good boy. You're going to come and show Cleo. But I think she'd really...
Dolphins.
You lift them up and show her.
Put them on her tray.
Yeah, and you can tell her what they do. Where did the fish live? You go to the box there.
And the sea.
They do. And do they make noises?
See if you can get him to do fish action.
You're going to show her how they swim. And do they make a noise?
No.
No? What are these? Show her them. Because you've got a teddy one like this and she likes it, doesn't she?
Talk to Cleo.
Put them on her tray. Talk to Cleo. Tell her what it is.
I say, snap, snap, snap.
They do, don't they?
I didn't know you do no more.
Can you do one more for me? Can you do one more? I'd love you to show her dolphin.
Yeah, she's going to eat it and she's salty.
Hey, Kai, can you show... Because Cleo does... Cleo thinks this is food. Can you tell her it's for playing?
Thanks.
Kai, can you look at Cleo and tell her it's not food?
You're going to tell her that it's not food. Tell her what it is.
It's not food. It's a dolphin.
Show her your 2 dolphins.
You're going to show Cleo? Show her what they do.
So, Kai, I want you to tell Cleo now that it's all finished and that you're going to get down. Can you tell Cleo that, please?
Cleo, it's
Look
all
at her.
finished
Look at her.
now.
Tell her you're going to get down.
Cleo, Cleo,
Good boy.
Cleo, it's all finished now.
That was great talking.
Boy.
I mean, that was really interesting to watch because what I saw was that Kai could communicate with Cleo, but what he really struggles with is making eye contact with her. And what this tells me is that these are 2 children who have not been learning to play together.
Because I've never put them together because of what happens. I've deliberately avoided the situation.
Yeah. But what happens, Emma, is they're not
So
learning
it's partly
to play
my fault, really, because I've never sat them down. Well, I have tried, but seeing how Kai is, I've only done it sort of 3 or 4 times.
But I think if you want to solve the problem isn't, it's a bit illogical. You think keeping them apart's helping.
But maybe keep doing it every day, and then if he's going to be nasty, then just take him away.
Because that's normal, what siblings do.
Yeah.
But you need to let them build up a bond together, because at the moment they don't have that link.
Kai's playtime with Cleo must have opened up his softer side, because he's all heart when he spots a poorly dragonfly.
So I'm going to say to a doctor, I need you to take him to a doctor's. OK, I'll take him to the doctor's. Oh! Doctor's is down this way. Oh, thanks. OK. You'll be there soon, Dragonfly. You'll be there soon. You'll be there soon, Dragonfly. Here we are, the doctors. Thank you.
After a long and difficult week, it looks like the idea of home time is having a good effect on Martin.
Look at the size of that tower, Kai, that Martin's built. Look at the tower.
That is a really good swimming tower. Look. Knock it down.
No!
That hurt your head.
Yes, it did.
Clumsy Martin is clearly enjoying his new, more playful role.
So you're pushing us really high.
Maybe even a bit too much.
Really hard, please.
But this much more gentle Martin is obviously a massive hit with the kids and his wife.
I'll give Daddy a hug. You're going to give us a hug. Don't jump, he's got coffee.
Coffee.
Oh, lovely. Kiss you.
So the Baileys came with 2 proper tearaways, Tamsin and Todd. I mean, the kind of punching and kicking that we haven't seen for a while, big swearing. These are children who are locked in their bedrooms. How are they going back now as a family?
I think they feel different because I think they'll actually go home and have a conversation about what happens now. I think the communication had really broken down between this couple, and it's a funny sort of communication they do anyway because it's very laughy and jokey, and you know, but that actually underpins some quite serious comments that are passing between them. But I think they're in a different state now. I think they could go home, think individually and together about their children.
Back in the living room, there's a last day of term feeling as all the rules go out of the window.
What did Mummy say? Don't say it, actually.
Yeah, I think Mummy. Do you think your Mummy should do a time-out, Todd, because she swore?
Saying language like that.
I think you should make Mummy stand in there for a minute. Yeah, you wanted, didn't you? I can tell by that grin. Oh, I'm going. I think it's fair, though. Because if your kids were to swear, you'd probably put them in time out.
Don't look at her.
Mustn't give Mummy eye contact. Don't look at her. That's it. Just have to ignore Mummy. Don't look at her. Don't look at her.
I know, I'm doing that.
Don't try and jump
put the
out
scorpions
either,
in there,
Mummy.
that'll scare her, won't it?
Yeah.
I don't like that thing.
Put it on the ground.
Oh, don't seriously, I will.
No, you're staying in for more longer now.
Did I say a naughty word again?
Nearly.
Yes.
And it looks like all the children are taking over on the last day as Aneesah gets a breakfast of her choice for the final meal in the house. Custard creams.
With the carton. Cartons. मैं सालन फिर से यहाँ फिर मैं बरता तक बताया.
With just a few hours left in the house, Nazir and Gulnar go into their final consultation to talk through the unexpected twist in their therapy.
So, you know, I came into this story thinking with you as well that actually it was about Aneesah's behaviour, that actually she was just rejecting something that was very important to you. And I know that, you know, it was seen as her just being very, very defiant. But also what we know is that there were times when things broke down and you were forcing her to eat because you were just so anxious about it and just, you know, just put it in.
मुझे अभी पूरी तरह याद नहीं है. एक दो दफ़ा तीन दफ़ा हमने ट्राई भी किया ज़बरदस्ती भी इसके मुंह में डालने में. ज़्यादा रो जब नहीं खाती थी ना ज़बरदस्ती इसके मुंह में डाला है. अभी याद नहीं रहा कितना अर्सा हो गया है. साल हो गया है ज़्यादा. यही इतना ही होगा.
All right, so there was something about a bit of forcing that perhaps was the trigger. And actually that it may have started with something being put into her mouth that was too hot. The next day, again, something too hot, until she absolutely decides, no, not trusting you anymore. You've done something to me that makes me feel uncomfortable. So that's it. I mean,
लेकिन ये अभी हमको पता चल गया है. मैं पहले भी इसको कहता था कि ज़बरदस्ती नहीं करनी है इसके साथ. लवली तरीके से प्यार से इसको बोलो ये काम करना है, ये खाओ आंडी. हम इसको पुश करेंगे तो ज़्यादा फिर ये उस तरफ जाएगी नहीं.
she really is her own person. And what is fabulous about what's happened, well for me, and I hope you feel the same, is that having made this discovery, what we've been able to do is say, actually, let's just put a little bit of curry on her plate with what we know she likes and take the pressure off. So to have her sitting there with it on the plate, it seems amazing to me.
We couldn't do that a few days ago. We couldn't do that before we came here. So it is quite a big step, a big improvement. And to put a bonus point onto it, the lunchtime, as soon as she saw the curry on the plate, there was a bit of a bit. But then in the evening meal, because she'd had it on the plate, and she just said, I'm not having it, but you can stay there. So she didn't even kick up a fuss.
I mean, we've really got to celebrate what a big step that is, because before, 2 days ago, curry anywhere near her was taken like that. And I think what we've got to remember is that this is a process of desensitising her. So taking her through very slowly to understand that there is no pressure, but it does need to be on the same plate.
So the Hussains, are they ready to leave? And do you think they're going to do well at home?
I think they're definitely ready to leave. They're ready to leave here and try what we've started at home. Mum has been able to say, I can put myself into her shoes. I can actually imagine what's going on for her. Hey, if they've gone away with that in their minds, then I think, you know, that's great.
To show how far they've come, Nazir and Gulnar let Aneesah talk through the changes.
You're happy?
Yeah.
You want to go home?
Yeah.
You've enjoyed it here?
Yeah.
You've had a good time?
Yeah.
You made loads of new friends?
Friends.
And are you okay with the Andy being on your plate?
No.
No, you're okay with it being on your plate. You don't have to eat it, it's on your plate. Yeah, good girl.
Before they arrived, Aneesah wouldn't touch her parents' traditional Asian food. and it was driving them to despair.
Don't put your hands over your mouth.
Spending hours over each meal, Nazia was taking it as a personal rejection.
It's the only thing to make me look forward to the future with her eating, because if I don't have that hope, then I've got nothing.
With Mum doing everything, Gulnar was left on the sidelines.
Have I got the right sense that actually he would step up to the table a bit more?
I think I'd like to try it anyway.
As he took more control, Nazia was forced to relax, but it still didn't affect Aneesah. The turning point came when Laverne realised that Aneesah wasn't just being stubborn.
This is quite hot for me.
Is it?
I think Aneesah is scared of curry.
After a rethink, a new approach had immediate results.
Can you?
Yeah, good girl.
As the Hussains leave their stamp on the house, it's time for them to head home.
She wants to do blue now, so I think that's what you're going to be doing this evening. Hand painting.
Very good. Well done. What I've learnt about myself is to try and control my anger, my frustration, not get agitated really quickly, try to keep it calm at lunchtime.
अपने बारे में हमने यही सोचा है कि हम दोनों को मिल के एक साथ रह के कोशिश करनी चाहिए, ना कि अलग-अलग ये अपनी जगह ट्राई करे, मैं अपनी जगह, एक ही चीज़ को फॉलो करना है कि जो ये करे वो ही मैं करूं, तो डिफरेंट स्टोरी नहीं होनी चाहिए हमारी.
I am feeling very positive about Aneesah's future. It's given like a light at the end of the tunnel, if you want to call it. So it's looking like a very long tunnel, but there is light at the end.
Let's hope they're on their way to a home life free from mealtime tantrums and raised voices.
Todd, move your legs, because I'm going to stop it with my foot.
Todd and Tamsin are having a last play on the swing before they go.
Todd, you're cutting the grass with your feet. You're cutting the grass. Todd, you're really cutting the grass. Look how short it is. Look. Todd, get off, Min. Stupid idiot.
Todd and Tamsin might still need to work on their mutual respect, but at least Sherry and Martin are on a more even keel. Elizabeth has just called them in for their final consultation and is showing them just how different things were at the start of the week.
I'm the baby one who ran off and you're the angry dad. Why are you so angry? Because you ran off. I didn't run off, I fell off my bike and went straight into a hole.
Why are you so angry? Because you run off.
Isn't that?
What do you make of that?
It's true. They're just copying what they see. Yeah.
Well, they're playing out what their lives are like. And the two parts of that were angry dad and naughty child who runs off.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what I also saw was actually that you felt to me like quite a divided family at times. That there was huge gaps between, in fact, every member of the family.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, how do you feel about what I've just said there?
There ain't any more.
No, it's definitely spot on, really. There were big gaps in us all.
Yeah?
Yeah. The kids feel a lot calmer.
I think we feel more of a family now, though.
How do you feel about that?
The only thing that bothers me is bedtime.
Okay.
Everything else is falling into place or near enough.
Yeah. And I think the thing that bedtime needs is more time.
Yeah.
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 It's
That's what
about,
I'm doing it tonight. It should be fun.
it's about more practice. And I think that, Sherry, you have really learnt the skills. So, you know, what are your key points for tonight? I want to hear you tell me.
Calm.
Calm.
Positive.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, positive.
And not shouting, but talking in that way that they know.
Authoritative.
Authoritative, yes.
Authoritative.
It's a very good word.
That is a very good word. And it was fantastic to hear you then talk through that problem, because Martin shared what he knew about authority and about voice.
Yeah.
And that is exactly how communication and compromise worked.
Yeah.
And there was one other big topic that we talked about that required some compromise, which was tough. Go on, Sherry, what is it?
Work.
Work.
It's going to be work.
It's going to be work. And when I spoke about it a bit more, what I heard was that, Martin, you really miss Sherry when she's not there.
Yeah. Should I say that?
And Sherry, I've heard that you're not very good at saying, sometimes I need a bit of help.
Yeah, I need lots of help. You can do anything you want for me now.
Oh.
It's been nice having 24/7 together. It's not been a nightmare. Well,
No.
it has bits of it, but
No,
no.
really.
Not between us, it's more doing stuff with the kids,
Yeah.
which is unusual. Whereas I'd much rather spend 24/7 with the kids than with him before.
Wow.
And I don't mind either of them now.
Before we finish, I want to do one last thing that will be familiar to both of you. Bear with me, I'm going to introduce you to something that you already know.
Hello.
I'm waiting for these. I saw them sitting under the table. And I'm thinking, how are you going to put them?
Okay. Now, I can remember very clearly when I did the Tower of Power with both of you that, you know, we were talking about putting in order who was the most powerful at the top and the least powerful at the bottom. Okay? And I really want to think with you now about, you know, where this should be, where you would like to see your family in terms of power and hierarchy and structure.
What, how it is now or how we want it?
Well, is it how you want it?
Pretty much, yeah.
I think we're getting there.
Okay.
Already.
Yeah.
So who goes on the bottom? I will help you.
Jessica.
Yeah.
Just because you're the littlest, Jessica.
Poor little Jess.
Next, please.
I would say Tamsin, because Todd still controls Tamsin. Wouldn't you?
We've got one of them.
Todd.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we don't. You don't control us anymore.
No, not really.
Talk to me about those timeouts, Martin. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, I have very clearly see in strong parents in timeout. Fantastic. We left.
Sherry next.
Sherry next.
You know, they were going to happen.
Well, you know, this is a tough call, isn't it?
We can do half and half.
I love that. Hang on. That is
Different.
Such a radical change from when I saw you.
Yeah.
So after such an eventful week, there's now nothing left to say but their goodbyes. The Baileys arrive with no idea what to do about their disobedient duo. Night times are the worst, and at home they were locked in their rooms. In our lock-free house, they've suffered night after night of dramas and disorder.
Leave the light off.
No!
Particularly Sherry. But it was Martin that struggled to control his anger.
Get out now!
I'm coming.
Now!
What I then saw was you get quite physical.
Yeah.
And actually, we can't have that.
No.
Neither of them could agree on a level of discipline.
You're too soft and you give in to them too easy.
Yeah.
But there was one thing they could both do that actually produced results.
What I got a sense of yesterday was two children who respond incredibly well to positive attention.
You're doing really well.
After a day full of cuddles and some united parenting, the Baileys have become the close-knit family they always wanted to be. As the family leave their mark on the house, it looks like the house has left a lasting impression on Martin and Sherry.
It's been good. Tend to not stress at the kids a lot more now. A lot more calmer. I think I've certainly learned to control my temper. Get rid of the anger.
Our time in the house has been really enjoyable and it's been great fun, even though it's been hard work. And I think the kids have really enjoyed it as well.
I think good moments have been bedtimes, improvements on bedtimes. That's been really good. And I think bonding as a family.
Yeah, definitely more
I think
family
we've
connection.
totally bonded
Yeah.
a lot better.
Yeah.
It's been a real eye-opener. It's been really great.
It's time to head home, and they're taking with them that new calm and positive approach to their tearaways, and those bedroom locks will be coming off. Emma is now the last adult in the house, and after being told by Elizabeth that her children haven't bonded, she's determined to get them playing together. But of course, with Kai, it's never that simple.
Slowly. Whee! She likes that.
I think you like my bike.
She does.
She like my bike.
Whee! Go slow, Kai, because I can't keep up. Go slow. Go slow.
I'm turning that off.
Whee! Go slow, babe. Kai, slow down, please.
I know.
Kai, slow down, please.
No.
Right, I'm not playing now.
Taking Cleo in because you're doing it too fast. No, are you going to slow down then?
Yes, that's why.
You're going to slow down then for Mummy? Because it's nice when you two play together. Wait, slow down, let Mummy get her on. Let's see. Way, this is fun. Whee! Don't go too fast. Look at Mummy. Happy face. You got a happy face too.
So the Hussains have left and the Baileys have left and the Partridges are staying in. 2 brand new families are going into the house of tiny tearaways. Join me next time for more drama.
He's even made a commitment. He got my name tattooed on his wedding finger.
Knuckle duster.
Baba.